from Kit Guru, and in this review I'm going to be taking a look at a pre-built computer from PCSpecialist, the Magma LX. I'm not too sure where they got the name from, but when I first hear the word pre-built computer I instantly think overpriced and that it's probably got some cheap dodgy components in there such as the power supply. But with this pre-built computer I was actually pleasantly surprised. When it comes to specifications, you get an AMD Ryzen 7 1700 CPU and it's sat an ASUS Prime X370 Pro motherboard and then cooled by Corsair's H100i V2 all-in-one cooler. You get a Zotac GTX 1070 Ti graphics card, 16GB of 3000 MHz Corsair Vengeance RAM, 256GB Samsung M.2 SSD alongside a 2TB hard drive, and it's all powered by Corsair's 650W TXM SEMI-MODULAR gold certified power supply. Honestly, the best part about this PC is actually the price, because it doesn't matter how good it is if it's going to be a complete rip-off, and with a cost price of £1,479, it does sound like a lot, but you do have to remember that it's a high-end gaming PC, and after doing a bit of research, because of the ridiculous price of computer components at the moment, this PC actually works out £150 cheaper than if you were to buy and build the PC yourself, which to me is just crazy because you're paying someone else to do it for you and it comes pre-built. So now that I have your full attention, without further ado, let's jump into the rest of the review. I think this PC is going to be absolutely perfect for those of you that might not be that confident in building one yourself, or if you do want a brand new PC without all the hassle. PCSpecialist install the operating system and Windows 10 Home is included with this PC. They also install all of the drivers, so it's just a case of unpackaging it, plugging in all the cables and then just turning it on and it's ready to go, which is just great. It also comes with a giant welcome pack included in the box, so that includes all of the manuals and any sort of extra cables and things that came with the components in this PC. Aesthetically, this is a very nice looking PC. It's all built in a Corsair 460X case, which I absolutely love. I actually bought one for my other half last year, and not only does it look great, it actually performs really well as well. Being a mid-tower case, it's a good size that's not going to overcrowd your desk, and it'll also fit comfortably under smaller desks as well. You've got a tempered glass front and side panel. The side panel I have actually removed because it messes up the camera a little bit. But yeah, they are really good at preventing scratches. You do get a few fingerprint marks. The dust filters on this case are really easy to remove and clean if you need to, and it does a good job of keeping the dust out. You've got a few different settings for the three SP120 RGB fans on the front of this case. You can change the colour, the speed and also the effect. You've also got two RGB LED strips that are included within this build, and these can actually be controlled using the ASUS Z370 Pro motherboard. This is because it supports the Aurora Sync software from ASUS, so not only does it have its own lights on the motherboard itself, it does control the RGB LED strips. The software doesn't come pre-installed by PCSpecialist, but it's pretty easy to find on the ASUS website and download it yourself. I've had a ton of fun sort of playing around with all the different effects. You can get the lighting exactly how you want it, and I think it's a really nice sort of gimmicky thing that comes with this particular PC. You can also turn it off as well if you're not a fan of RGB lighting. I'm probably way too excited about the lighting on this PC, but even the graphics card and the cooler light up as well. The cable management is overall very well done. I think PCSpecialist has done a pretty good job of cable tying everything neatly into place. My only real gripe is the way they've positioned the 8-pin for the power supply. I would like to see it routed slightly differently to improve the overall look. The colour scheme is also pretty decent. Most of the components are black. There's a little bit of white on the motherboard, but it doesn't ruin the overall look. And I do think that's important as this is a windowed case. When it comes to power, this PC certainly has plenty. The Ryzen 7 1700 and GTX 1070 Ti make a great pair for a high-spec gaming PC, or even for a little bit of video editing thanks to that Ryzen 7 CPU. The Corsair Vengeance 3000 MHz RAM is absolutely perfect for gaming on and will also be sufficient for video editing. The 256GB M.2 SSD with the operating system installed I think is a must-have for a PC in 2018. I would maybe like to see a bigger version of this PC just so there's more space, more faster storage for some frequently used apps and games. It is of course paired with that 2TB hard drive though, which I think will be plenty of space for most people. The TXM power supply from Corsair is 80+ gold certified and semi-modular as well, so it ticks plenty of boxes, and after checking the power consumption on this PC I can see that the 650 watt is actually quite a good choice, because under load this computer will pull 296 watts and power supplies are most efficient between 40 and 60% load. There's also a little bit of wiggle room in there if you want to upgrade the PC in the future. I tested how well the Magma LX performs by running several different tests. I don't want to bore you all too much in this video as there is a lot of information and graphs. If you head over to the KitGuru website, you'll see everything in a lot more detail and you'll be able to look at it all in your own time. I started off with 3D Mark to test the Magma LX and they were some very respectable results, overall showing that this PC is certainly powerful enough for a serious PC gamer. The individual results of the CPU and GPU show they are a well-matched pair, with one not sort of seriously outperforming the other. I found the 1070 Ti performed excellently in most of the tests, but it did begin to struggle when the resolution was ramped up to 4K. I tried out 3 rather demanding games on the Magma LX because of course benchmarks can only tell you so much. They were all tested at 1920 by 1080p resolution. First up was PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, and it's far from being a very optimised game, but this PC actually got a pretty impressive 76 FPS on ultra settings, and then if you're someone that doesn't like to see the FPS drop below 60, then you will have to drop those settings down to medium. On Call of Duty World War II, I've actually got a 60Hz monitor, so the FPS was locked at 60, but this PC actually managed to maintain 60 FPS the majority of the time on normal settings. If I ramp the settings up to Ultra, it sort of struggled to keep the FPS around 60, and it did actually dip below 30 a few times. I'm sort of suspicious though that the FPS drops might be more to do with the game than the PC itself. Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands is a beautiful game and it ran like an absolute dream on this PC. Very high settings seems to be the sweet spot, with the FPS not dropping below 60 at all. If you ramp the settings up to Ultra, this game it's still very playable, but the average FPS is sort of nearing 60 and only really dipped below 60 occasionally. Overall, when it comes to gaming performance, I conclude the Magma LX is a very powerful gaming PC, perfect for those of you that want to run the latest games on ultra settings. I also think it will probably take advantage of an above average monitor as well, something with a high refresh rate, so 144Hz, or even a monitor with a higher resolution, 1440p. Now on to noise and cooling in this PC. To test the cooling performance, I ran AIDA64 for 10 minutes. In order to double check the GPU temperature, I also kept an eye on it while I was playing 3 tester games. Overall, the cooling performance is actually really impressive. That H100i V2 managed to keep the Ryzen CPU below 45 degrees, so there's plenty of room for a cheeky overclock in there. And then even though the GTX 1070 Ti was on air, it stayed below under 60 degrees, and that was even under load, which is why I wanted to double check it while I was playing some games. This PC in general is pretty quiet while it's idle. It does make a little bit of noise. I've taken the side panel off and I can definitely sort of hear the fans and things going in there, but I mean it's not too loud that it's going to be a problem. When it's under load, you do hear the fans spin up. I think most of the noise comes from the H100i that's in the top there, but once again it's not really a problem. I think most people while they're gaming wear a headset anyway, so in that case you're definitely not going to hear it. In conclusion, the Magma XL is a really excellent PC. It's got a lot of good reliable parts and it comes at a very tempting price. Everything runs nice and cool and quiet in that rather attractive 460X case, and it's also got plenty of RGB lighting to go around. I would recommend this PC for anyone that wants something high-end that's going to be great for gaming, streaming and video editing. Don't forget to check out the full written review on the KitGuru website for more information on those tests and graphs, etc. Thank you for watching. If you like this video from KitGuru, give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more from KitGuru, hit the subscribe button.